Hello, magnificent human beings. Landon here. And is your back stiff when you wake up in the morning? Well, this flow is going to help alleviate some of that morning stiffness in your lower back. Now, here's the key, is that this is meant to be done before you go to sleep. If you want to not have any stiffness when you wake up in the morning, then it makes the most sense to kind of catch the problem before it happens. Now, of course, if you miss it and you want to do this in the morning, that's okay, but really it's going to have the most benefit if you do this right before you go to sleep. So, nice short flow for you, really targeting that lower back area. Let's begin by standing on up here near the top of your mat and shake things out. Move around a little bit. Good. Just getting loose. Bringing your hands to that heart center position. We will close our eyes, set a very brief intention. Breathe. Thinking about looseness, relaxation, sweet, happy dreams, whatever you like. Inhales through your nose. Exhales out the nose. Once you have your intention, 3 short cleansing breaths to seal it in. Inhale in through your nose. Exhale out the mouth. Inhale in. Exhale out the mouth. Once more, big inhale in, inhale, inhale. And sigh it out, let it go. Good. Opening up your eyes. Inhale, hands up, lengthen, grow. Exhale, hinge, forward fold, putting a bend in your knees. Good. Nice gentle bend in your knees to alleviate some tension in that lower back. Shake it out. Just kind of getting nice and warmed up here. Still keeping that bend there in your knees, fingertips on your shins. Inhale for half lift. Lengthen through your spine. Good. Exhale, hinge, forward, fold, and chin is last to rise, stacking vertebra on top of vertebra, slowly coming all the way back up. Hands up overhead, side out, let it go. Slight back bend. Inhale, lengthen upward. Exhale, forward fold, come all the way down. Bend in your knees here. Nice, loose lower back. Let's inhale for half lift. Lengthen through your spine. Exhale, hinge, forward fold. Chin is the last to rise. Slow, coming on up. Hands up overhead. Sigh, let it go. Inhale, lengthen, reach. And then exhale, fold. Coming all the way down. Good. Interlace those elbows. Very good. Take a big, big inhale. And then exhale. Allow the weight of those elbows to come down. Good. Soft bend in your knees. Good. We don't want to have too much of a bend there in that lower back. And just releasing, relaxing. Fingertips on the mat. And then inhale for a brief half lift. Exhale, fold. Good. And chin is the last to rise as we slow come all the way up. Arms up overhead, side out. And shake it out. Move around. Good. Bringing your hands to that heart center position. Inhale, bring that left knee up. Exhale, bring it back, base of a lunge. We don't need a super deep lunge here, just wherever you feel stable. And then arms up overhead, lengthen, grow, and create a slight back bend here. So we're trying to bring those hands back behind us. And what we're aiming for is a nice stretch in this sort of front hip flexor area. Breathe. Stay here, stay with it. We're going to hold this pose for a while, really focusing on trying to find that stretch there in that front part of that left hip. Good. Breathe. Hands will come all the way down to the mat. You can come down to your back knee and bring this right foot forward. If you have blocks, sometimes it's nice to place blocks on either side. We want a nice, wide, deep, open lunge here because we want to sink down into our hips and grow and lengthen. Basically, we're doing the same thing here, really getting that nice stretch there in that front part of our hip. Deep breath. Good. Lengthening upward. At the same time, seeking to sink into those hips a bit. And you can come back to neutral. Good. From here, bring this knee kind of in line with your midline a little bit here. And what we're going to do is lay on top of that leg. And we want to drive this knee forward. We're actually aiming for a stretch back here. This little muscle called the soleus kind of feels nice to stretch out there from the very bottom part of our calf. So you might have to reposition a little bit so you actually feel that stretch way down here. Holding this, breathe. Seeking to hold each one of these poses for at least about 30 seconds, maybe a minute. Really giving our body as best of a chance to loosen and relax as best as we can. And coming back to neutral. Good. From here, simply come into downward facing dog. Pedal things out, move around a little bit, and we're going to deconstruct our down dog, do different stretches within it. So let's go ahead and place that right heel down, and then left foot kind of helps to drive it down. So we're just focusing on a calf stretch in our right calf there. Breathe. So down dog form isn't super important right here. What is important is just allowing yourself to find that stretch in that right calf muscle. Breathe. And release, relax. We're going to switch sides. So we'll take that left heel, driving it down. Maybe your right foot kind of helps to push and guide it down as well. Whatever you can do to find that gentle stretch there in that left calf. Breathe. And you can release back into a regular down dog. Shallow up your down dog just a tiny bit, and then tailbone to the sky, soft knees, really lengthen, stretch throughout the entirety of your spine, really trying to feel that stretch through the entirety of your back. Tailbone lengthens, knees soften, tailbone reaches, lengthens up. Good. And then walk hands to feet, feet to hands, forward fold. Soft bend in your knees, still good. Inhale, lengthen, half lift. Exhale, fold, chin, last to rise, coming all the way up here. And let it go, back bend. Good. Okay. So shake it out. Move around a little bit. Going to do the next side. We will take that right knee, bring it up in front of us. Bring that right foot back. Base of a lunge. Again, doesn't have to be too deep here. Arms up overhead. Lengthen, grow, breathe. Really seeking to get that nice stretch in that front part of your right hip. Breathe. Arms reach up. Stay with it. And gently bring those hands all the way down to the mat. You can come down to your back knee and maybe inch your left foot forward some. If you want to have blocks on either side of you to help kind of raise up, that's okay. But just making sure you get a nice deep sinking into that hip there. Stay with it. Maybe if you do have those blocks, it's nice to kind of push yourself up. This will definitely amplify that feeling there in that front part of your right hip. Breathe. Good. Stay focused. Stay with it. And back to neutral. What we'll do is bring this right knee kind of here in front of us, and then laying your body on that knee. So trying to find that little stretch there in your soleus muscle. Again, might have to reposition a little bit so you feel things. You don't want this heel to lift off too much. If it does, like, half an inch or something, that's fine. But just wherever you can go to kind of feel that Stretch way back there. Breathing, good. So you might be thinking, well, why are we stretching our leg muscles out through so much of this in our calves if we're focusing on our lower back? Well, calf muscles, right next to the hamstrings, hamstrings next to the glutes, glutes next to your back. And so we're really just trying to get everything on the same page, everything loose, so that one muscle group isn't pulling on the other, causing like a bad chain reaction. So we're just seeking to really stretch everything out as best as we can. Good. And you can release, bring this foot back up to a neutral position, and then come back into downward facing dog. Pedal it out, move around. Same thing as before, so ground down one of your heels and helping the other foot to push it down. Stretching out our calves once more, so left calf, right calf, whichever one you like first is fine, because we're just going to switch and do the other one here in a moment. Breathe, stretching out that calf muscle, good. 5 more breaths. And opposite side. Excellent. Right foot helps to press down on that left if you're doing your left, or vice versa. But, switching sides, just aiming to find that calf stretch there. Good. If you need to shallow up your down dog a little bit, that's fine, wherever you feel comfy. 5 breaths. Feet back into a normal position here. Shallow up your down dog, maybe a little bit more, because we're really going to stretch to that back. Good. Tailbone lifts through the sky. Soft knees, heels come off the mat. And we push. Lengthening through your spine. Lengthen through your spine. Good. And tabletop. Good work. Shake things out. Move around. Good. Okay. If you would like, you can spin your hands around here. Nice to get a little forearm stretch while we do our cat-cows, if you wish. So inhale, drop your belly. Eye gaze lifts for that cow. Exhale, cat, gently rounding. Inhale for cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. Good. Coming onto your butt, swinging your legs on around. We're coming into a staff pose. Sip of water is always good whenever you wish. Here in staff pose, legs are extended directly out in front of us. Good. So bend your knees enough so that you can stack 2 fists kind of on top here. So that's about as much as we want our knees bent. Hands will grab for shin, ankle, feet, wherever you're comfortable. Shoulders roll back. Keep that flat spine. Take a big inhale. And an exhale, fold. Good. So we're seeking to keep a nice flat spine as best as we can and really trying to find some length there in that lower back. So hands nice and strong here on your legs, gently pulling you forward. Breathe. 5 breaths. And you can release. Good. Left heel, bring it on in. Shoulders square with the front. So getting ready for a forehead to knee pose. Good. Big toe in line with your sternum. Shoulders square. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, come on down. Good. So everyone will feel this in a different spot. Some people feel it kind of in their lower back, the QL muscle there next to that hip, or some people only feel it in the hamstring. But as you become more flexible, start to feel this in kind of different parts of your body. But very important to let those hamstrings loosen up because those can start to pull on things through our glutes and, even affect our lower back. So getting everything nice and loose is the key. A couple more breaths. And loosen, let go, turning your shoulders to the left. So really squaring your shoulders here, and then right hand down on that right leg, left arm up. Before you bend and hinge on down, lengthen, really reach that left arm up, and then very slowly start to come on over to your left. Good. So there's a kind of the what is it, quadratus lumborum QL muscle there. It's right above your hip, and it's in your lower back area, but it's just kind of another one of those muscles there in and around your lower back hip sort of area that we need to focus on loosening up as well. So this hopefully stretches that at least a little bit, and we can come back to neutral. Good work. Let's go ahead and swing on around. We'll do the opposite side. So right heel comes in, making sure you're nice and lined up here. Big toe in line with your sternum, shoulders square. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hinge, fold. Come on down. Good. Deep breath. Really focusing on slow, controlled, mellow breath. Keep breathing. And we can soften, release, shoulders turn to the right, and left hand holds onto that shin, right hand up overhead. First, reach that right hand up, 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 and then very slightly start to hinge towards that opposite foot. So just bringing that hand not necessarily as far down as you can, but as far out and upward as you can. Right shoulder gently revolves open. Breathe. And soften, release. Good. And we can bob our knees, shake things out, move around. Good. Now for a pose that is going to be very, very helpful in loosening up that whole lower back area. It's always good to get all the other muscles nice and loose before we really target that one specific area we're looking for. This is called our cow face pose, and the traditional form of it is pretty difficult because it takes a lot of steps to get into, and it's a little more demanding. So we're going to do a different version by just laying down on our backs here, feet flat on the mat, and then go ahead and cross your left knee over your right. So left knee crosses over. Hands can grab for your knees, your shins, your ankles, wherever you like. Flex those ankles, keep them nice and taut, so gentle flex, and then hug your knees in. Good. So this stretches through a lot of things there through our lower back. So kind of helps to open up everything, stretches through our glutes as well. So, deep muscles within your glutes, like your piriformis, minimus, maximus, all those muscles might be kind of tight. So this really helps to loosen that up. And we will be here for a bit. So if you're already squeezing too much and it's too intense, maybe back off just a little bit. And we breathe. Good. Keep breathing. Stay with it. and soften. Good. Go ahead and cross your knees and then cross them back over. Opposite side, so right knee comes over your left, and then feet are flexed. Gently squeeze things in. So here is another pro tip. Hopefully you're doing this before bed, but when you do finally get into bed, this is an excellent pose to do while you're in bed, actually. So it's kind of almost easier because you have more cushion around you, more support. So you can do this one too, as well as a bonus. After we finish and you crawl into bed, go ahead and maybe do this one more time there just before you fall asleep. So it's nice to really loosen everything up in that lower back area. Good. And soften. Uncross your legs, tick-tock things back and forth. Wonderful. Coming back up into a staff pose, we will need to find a wall. So as long as you can be relatively close to a wall here, and only just a couple more short poses before our final pose. Go ahead and place your feet flat on the wall. So you want a 90-degree angle here in your knees, and then more or less one here, your legs coming up more or less perpendicular out of the ground. So 90 degrees as best as you can. And then walk those feet over to the right. So feet walk to the right. Good. Left foot comes up on top of that, not on top of the knee, but just above it here. And if this is too intense for you, just push yourself away from the wall to kind of lessen the intensity. Right hand on that left kind of thigh area and just gently push away. We're hoping to feel a real big stretch here through this left hip area. Breathe. And soften. We'll switch sides. So feet flat on the wall, and then walk them over to the left side there. Right ankle comes up, plant it down. Good. Left hand, place it on that left thigh, gently pushing away. Your right foot, you want to keep that flexed here. Kind of helps to protect your knee joint, but we can push open that left hip. You might feel this more intensely on one side than another. Or sorry, we're feeling the stretch through our right hip. And for me, yep, this right side's a little bit tighter. And soften, release, good. Last pose is legs up the wall. So finding yourself next to the wall here, and then feet come on up. As much of a 90-degree angle as you can get is generally best. So you have to kind of walk your butt a little closer to the wall. That's good. Wherever feels good for you. And this will be the final pose of our practice. This will be our Shavasana, more or less, but not skipping this one because it does have a lot of benefits for resting, relaxing, helping soften in your back as well. So just close your eyes, taking maybe about 15, 20 breaths. Relax. Inhales in through your nose. Exhales out the nose. Inhales in. Slow, soft, calming exhales out your nose. And as you like, you can come on back. Good. Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much for coming along this short journey here. Remember, before you go to sleep, doing that cow face pose in bed is nice to loosen things up as well. I hope all of these poses stitched together helps you have a relaxing night and that you wake up with a lot less stiffness in your lower back. Thank you for being here. I will see you in a video soon. Take care. Namaste.